right, guys, welcome to the On the Go podcast. We're back at it again. We're here with another guest. Let's go ahead and get him into the car. I'm gonna go ahead and give him a call, real quick, and see where we're at. My name is George. I'm your host.
Yo,
Hey, what up, broski? How you doing, man?
what's up, man?
Not much, bro. I'm outside, bro, waiting for you.
I'll go right now.
All right, bye. Oh, there he is. Oh, there you go. What's up, my boy?
What's up, man?
What's up? What's up? Go ahead and mic yourself up real quick. Well, guys, I have another great guest of mine, another great friend of mine. Uh, my brother basically grew up with him. He grew up with me, I would say, because he's a lot younger than I am. I'm old as heck.
It's true.
But guys, this is Mr. Amaury Gutierrez. Let's go ahead and give it up for my boy. How you been, dog? I'm excited to
man.
have you here, bro.
I'm good. Let's do this.
Let's do this. Let's do this. All right. So I already know you got your Celsius. You're going kind of stupid.
Gotta have it on deck.
Gotta have it on deck.
Always.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and get a coffee.
Let's do it.
Just do it. All right.
The more caffeine, the better.
The more caffeine, the better. But before we roll on, obviously the On the Go podcast is shot. The purpose of it is to shoot on the go and to talk to everyday people about everyday life. I do believe that we have four things in common with people: the life we live, the family we're born into, the career that we have, the career that we've chosen, and ultimately our belief system. So while we're going to get that, let's go ahead and talk about that a little bit. How's life been for you, bro? How's everything going?
It's good, man. So far, so good. Just turned 24.
24, big 2-4.
The big 2-4.
That's the what is it? That the Kobe year?
That's the Kobe year.
That's the Kobe year.
I thought my Jordan year at 23 was gonna be
the year.
the same legacy as Jordan. It was not. So let's see if Kobe's is better.
Yeah. Okay. R.I.P. the Mamba. R.I.P. the Mamba. My boy's no longer here.
R.I.P. the Mamba.
R.I.P. the Mamba.
But no, yeah, I mean, definitely life's doing its thing. It's been an uphill battle.
Life is lifing.
But we're there, man. We're excited.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So obviously tell the people a little bit about what you do, man. And life is going well now. Life is going good. It's let's say as of right now, just for a standard of time. How's life been since the year started? We're 4 months in already within 2024. It's April. What is it? What's today's date? April 7th, 2024. It's 3:31 p.m. Up to date. How's life been?
It's how people have a false conception of like it's a new year, new me.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. That's not accurate. Like it's the same me, just in a different year. And it's like you could try your best and be as different as you want to be, but there's a difference in making some life habit changes and like going to the gym more and eating right and doing this, that, the other.
Yeah.
The other side of that is just your personality. The other side of that is like, yeah, it's a new year, but some things aren't going to change about myself because it's my personality. It's just how I am. So
okay, yeah.
If I had to answer that question speaking freely, 2024 has been so far the same as 2023.
Okay.
Nothing drastic has changed.
Nothing
really.
drastic has changed. Okay.
Do I think that it's going to end the same way? I don't think so. I hope not, at least. But yeah. I do believe that. So far nothing crazy has really happened. Like I'm still kind of in the same place.
Okay.
Speaking like mentally, still in the same place. I think like obviously I've for the last year I like did some changes in my life of like eating habits and like now I have a steady like workout regimen and now I meal prep and now like things like that. My spiritual life has
grown significantly better, right?
But my personality is still the same. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's a new me. It's the same me. I just have better habits now.
Okay. So do you really think there is such thing as a new year, new me in regards to that, or do you think that would apply to everyone? Because I don't know. Do you think if someone who starts a gym or gets their life in order at the beginning of the year, do you really think that they're actually new, or just what they're doing is new, more or less?
I think in order to see that change, you'd have to make a really drastic shift in your life. Like,
Like
for example,
like moving.
no, not even. Like, if you were a rage drug addict and then the new year happened and you decided to stop doing drugs,
Just
yeah, a
quit
lot's
drugs.
gonna change.
A lot's gonna change.
You're gonna be a whole different version of yourself.
A whole different person, bro.
But if you're like, how do I even say it? Like, I mean, kind of like me. If you're like kind of chubby and you started going to the gym and like now you're a little bit thinned out. Like,
I was looking crazy. Though.
I'm not. Yeah, you already know. But I'm not gonna be like. I'm not gonna stand here and say like, oh, I'm a different person. Like, I'm still funny. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm still
it's hilarious.
I'm still creative. And I think it's that. I think, yeah, there's a version of yourself that could be the new you, but I don't even think, realistically speaking, that version of the new you would take only just one New Year's Eve to like shift.
Yeah.
I feel like it would take a couple years for you to actually have some hard truth about like, okay, I stuck to the habits that I made. My New Year's resolutions aren't New Year's resolutions; they're just resolutions for my life from now on. You get me? I think that's where people get it wrong. They say, "Oh, this new year, I'm gonna eat right," and then it's like next year happens, and if you stopped eating right, so what? You only ate right for a year? No, you have to make that change constantly.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I think the other day I was with the wife. We were going through Target, and I was like, "Oh, honey, I know that you wish you could just like lose the weight while eating everything you want." But I told her, I was like, I think that's a really big misconception because I feel like if you, the key of losing weight is not so much losing it, but it's also learning how to maintain it off. I think that's probably one of the biggest things that 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 affects people in the sense that yes, I lost 20 pounds, but now can you stay at that weight for the next couple of years?
Exactly.
You get me? So, and I go like, if you don't have the discipline to be able to learn, like let's say you did get a magic pill that has dropped all your weight, and that now you're 20, 30 pounds lighter, you're only going to get 20, 30 pounds heavier again because you don't even know how to maintain that weight. You still have the same mentality, the same bad diet, and you probably maybe don't go to the gym. If you're doing the exact same thing you did before now, then I don't think there's going to be any true change.
Yeah, it's you have to shift your mentality on all aspects. In the example that you're using, it's going to sound kind of funny, but like you still have fat mentality.
Yeah, you still have a fat mentality.
You have to change your mind. You physically changed, but because your mind hasn't changed, you could easily jump right back into being eating the same way that you used to.
Yep.
And you'll be right back where you're at, and you wasted a year.
Tell me about it. Type 2. Shout out to you.
Type 2.
Diabetes. 560. Let's go.
It's crazy.
yeah, but no, I think that's very true, man. And it's crazy to think that a lot of people feel that within a couple of hours from one year to the next, everything's gonna change. And honestly, New Year's resolutions should be every day. You should have a new resolution
100%
every single day to accomplish, to do something different. So but that's good to hear, bro, because sometimes, life how it is then to how it is now, the fact that you are still the same person and you're improving who you are, but then everything else is, going up to par, just goes to show you how transformation is not just instantaneously, but through time. Change happens with time. They're two sides of the same coin.
100%.
All right, now with that, how's the family? How's what's your relationship status looking like right now? Are we right now playing the field? Are we right now just chilling? Are we right now just waiting? Because all those times in your singleness matters. So where are we looking at right now?
I am 100% single. And I'm not looking to mingle, if I'm being honest. I just rather focus on myself at this time and also just like chill. Focus on family, focus on friends, focus on little not habits, but like new hobbies. I have a really, really bad habit of making my hobbies a career. It's like super annoying. My career right now started as a hobby.
As a hobby, yeah, guys. By the way, if you guys don't know, he's a videographer, photographer, content creator, content manager. He does anything in the creatives. So it started off from, like you said, right? Like it started off just as a hobby.
Started off as me being at church. It's actually a funny story. I'll say it really fast. But when I first went to church, George is the most social person I've ever met in my entire life. And I was anti-social. I did not want to talk to anybody. I didn't know how to talk to anybody. And my first day in church, it was youth service on a Friday night, and he just left. Like, he left me by myself. He was the only person I knew. Left me by myself and went to go talk to everybody and anybody, and I was there like having an anxiety attack just because I was by myself. The next day, the the next hour on the way home. I'm like, man, don't do that, bro. Like, I don't know anyone there. Like, don't do that. And he was like, you have to get over that crap.
Yeah, guys,
So
don't know. I threw him in the deep.
in
He had to
order
learn how
for
to
me,
swim.
to break out of that shell, I would make the stupidest conversations with anybody. Like if someone was tying their shoes, I'm like, isn't it crazy how like some people do double ears, other people like run around the tree, and like, isn't that like I would just talk about anything just to try to make conversation. And some time passing, I go up to a photographer that was in service, and that photographer goes and says, again, I'm just trying to make conversation. I go up to the photographer and I'm like, hey, I love that camera. I've been thinking about getting into photography. I had no intentions of getting into photography. I didn't care. I wanted to be a police officer at the time. I was like 13, 14.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, but I just wanted to make conversation. So he told me the name of the camera, whatever. And I was like, all right, whatever. And I kind of just started thinking about it a little bit more. Then that year on Christmas, I asked my parents for that same camera he had recommended, and got it. Took some first time ever taking pictures at church was a New Year service. I remember I took photos of some fireworks, and Rico loved it, who was in charge of the media team at the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
He
he
loved
was.
it.
You're right. You're right.
And I kind of just fell in love with it after that. And I like me and Brandon would like hang out every day and just watch YouTube videos together, trying to
And
find
just
out
trying to find out
how a camera works. And I just went from there to there.
Oh, okay.
So my career stemmed from a lie. It stemmed from me not giving 3 or 4 about what camera this guy was using, but I just wanted to be social.
Oh man, that's so funny.
So I have a really bad habit of, I mean, I guess it's hustle mentality, right? But like,
yeah.
if
Definitely.
if I find a new talent or a new skill,
Mm-hmm.
I'll just be like, how can I make money off of this?
True, and honestly, like we do live in a generation where now almost anything that you make a hobby or an interest can become profitable. So there's a lot of there's a lot of money to be made. It's just a matter of people just kind of maybe not believing in what they do, or tapping in, or locking in it, as a matter of fact, to really like get it going.
Yeah.
Just because XYZ, afraid of failure, afraid of it not happening, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But in this case, your life became your career.
My career. So I'm really in this season of my life focusing on that, focusing on perfecting even my craft, because there's in the media world there's so much that goes into media. Like I know how to do graphics, I know how to video edit, I know how to record, I know how to take photos, I know how to mix sound, I know how to record sound, I know how to do these things, but I don't know how to animate video, and I don't know how to use 3D rendering programs, and I don't. So things like that that I'm even still interested in perfecting. Also, just like overall, just building my business in and of itself. You get me? So
yeah, I get you.
Things like that is really what my main focus is in now. Not to mention also just really locking into the spiritual aspect of things and saying, you know what, like I'm gonna how do I say it? I'm gonna get as close to God as I can, and not just because in this season of my life it's calling for that, more like just because I know I need to. Like I want that to be my one of my characteristics is okay. If you look at this person, like I mean, off camera, me and George have talked about this so much. It's I want to be able to answer any questions from the Bible. Yeah. You get me? Like if someone tells me like, oh, who was related to this person, I want to be able to say that. I want to be able to say, this. Or if someone says, I want to be able to like memorize verses, every single verse, and just drop them. Like I can't do that just because I have a bad habit of reading. I hate reading.
Oh man, like shout out to audiobooks, bro, because they do come in clutch. But it's nothing. I guess there's nothing like really opening an actual book and reading the words for yourself, because I feel like maybe with audio is great, but because we're listening to so many things so many times, I feel like sometimes it could be a little difficult, at least for me, to kind of keep that in. But I know that for the most part, if I'm doing like an audio, it's always best for me to kind of follow along as I read, just because then I guess I retain it more, so that this way when the time comes, or I want to recite a verse or something like that, I'm able to kind of just bring that up to memory.
Not me, man. I'm not really a big. I mean, I like audiobooks, but I don't count them as reading, man. I feel like the reading has to do with not just the fact that you're obviously reading, but you're sitting there and you're being disciplined enough to be able to take some time apart from your day, sit in silence, and just read.
And read, yeah.
I think it's more that than because I could sit here and people read all the time. Like they just don't realize they're reading, but like an Instagram caption, you're reading that.
You're reading that.
TikTok caption or captions on the actual TikTok itself, you're reading that.
Facts.
So reading isn't the hard part. It's sitting down and disconnecting from the world around you to dive into the book, and whatever book it is. It doesn't even have to be the Bible.
Yeah, it could be
so,
anything.
For me, audiobooks, they're so easy that I'm like, I can't. I don't count it.
Okay. That's crazy because you could be like 8 audiobooks deep and you're like, I have not read one book yet.
100%. Like the other day I finished an audiobook and I was like, I don't even feel accomplished. And there's one book that I've been reading for the last like 4 months that I just can't sit down and read.
Do you think it's more of the fact that it's hard for you to make time to sit down and read because maybe you're too much on the go? Or is it more of the fact that it's just you get distracted or you kind of set a time but then things come up or you just maybe don't like sitting down? Because I know there's people who love to go to Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, or even a public library and just sits there and begins to read. I'm like, I can't do that. Like, that's not really like my thing. I consider audiobooks reading a book. So in my case, yeah, but even then I still don't really listen to audiobooks.
My situation is that I suck at focusing. I think for those people who know me, like I'm always kind of like all over the place. Yeah. Like mentally, like I'm thinking about 15 things at once.
I get you.
So when I sit down and I'm sure a lot of people deal with this because I've spoken to some people and they're like, yeah, that same thing happens to me. You'll read a whole page, and when you get to that bottom of the page, you have no idea what you just read. Like your mind was somewhere else. You read it, but nothing processed.
But you didn't comprehend it. You didn't process it. You're like, oh, you just read to read.
I've read like a whole chapter, and I've gotten to the end of the chapter, and I'm like, I have no idea what that chapter was about, and I have to go back and read that whole chapter. It sucks.
Double reading.
And I'll try to like lock in and focus. So I think it's that. I think it's also, guys. Some people have different opinions about this, but like reading isn't fun. Like
honestly,
I don't have fun reading.
I think the people who says, "Oh, in my head, I create a story and an image and it looks like in a movie," I go, "Bro, you're capping."
I think it's the type of books that you read. I don't like because reading is such a hassle for me as it is. I need to gain something from it, so I only try to read like self-improvement books.
Yeah, because then you actually are improving as you read them. Like you're getting something out of it. Like
exactly.
Okay, that's the thing. I read only when it's necessary. I don't read for entertainment. I don't read to like pass time. Like people who go to the airport without phones, without any music, without any headphones, and just sit there and read a book the whole flight, to me are crazy. Because I have no idea how you can be so locked in on a flight and find that entertaining. That's I've seen that happen. I'm like, bro, you must be doing this for the gram because there's no way you're gonna be reading that for the next 6 hours right now on this flight.
That's like a personal challenge I have for myself because I'm trying to do things in this season of my life that I've never done before. Like, guys, the amount of times I've gone to a restaurant and just sat down and ate by myself just because I've never done that before.
They're OP though, guys. Great.
It's ridiculous. I did that this morning. I went to the Naked Farmer by myself. Sat there and just people watched. Looked like a creep the entire time. But like I'm doing things that I've never done before just to see if I even like it or if I don't like it.
Yeah,
and
true.
One of the challenges is going on a trip in a plane and just only reading a book that entire time for 3 hours. I don't know if I'd realistically finish a book in 3 hours, but like I definitely make some progress. I've been on flights with certain people for work. And my coworkers are just not technically my coworkers, but just my flying buddy, I guess. Yeah. Would be at the little coffee shop in the airport, find an interesting book, and read that entire book the whole flight.
The whole flight.
The entire flight.
Wow.
And then by the time that we got off the flight, he was like, "Oh, that book was amazing. I finished it already. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Hell no, bro. Get that book away from me."
It's impressive.
I'm watching Interstellar right now. Like,
I'm watching Oppenheimer. bro. But it's just crazy how people can sometimes read something once and comprehend it, and how other people it takes multiple times. I'm one of the ones who have to read it more than once to really get it, just because my mind is going a mile a minute. Like it's going crazy. Like I'm just a mile a minute. I think it's slow, right? Well, it's going fast, and it's hard for me to really like kind of lock in regards to everything. So so it gets a little difficult sometimes. This is why for the most part, I don't read when I want to plan, or I only read like I said when it's necessary, meaning like the Bible or something for work. Obviously, I don't mind going through the motions in regards to reading the Bible and reading things for work. But outside of that, it's not. If you're telling me I have to choose between a movie and a book, I'm going movie all the way.
Yeah, I think with me, this is just more personal towards me, but I have a mini fear of flying. I, I I believe that that plane could fall from the sky at any moment.
Any moment.
Every single time I land, it's a miracle of
You
the
know
Lord.
that I'm not afraid of it, of flying. You want anything? Hey, how you doing? Can I get a small black decaf iced coffee?
I got no decaf coffee right now, boss man. Not an ice at least.
No, no decaf at the moment.
No, no decaf at the moment, boss man.
Then let me just get just a regular small black iced coffee then.
Regular small as black.
Yeah, please.
Alright, anything else for you, boss?
No, that'll be all, boss.
You go for it.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Yeah, no decaf. Crazy.
Energy only.
Yeah, no. I guess they want.
He's lying though. There's no
Yeah,
way
yeah.
that
There's no
decaf
way
is
that
that
you ran out. How do
popular.
you run out of decaf like that? Nobody buys decaf like that. Not even old people drink decaf coffee, bro. My grandma still be drinking coffee at 12 midnight and then goes to sleep like a baby. Crazy. So okay, so that's what's up, bro. And then, oh, how you doing, boss? Appreciate you, man. Charge it here. Oh, hold on. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man. You too, bro. Now in regards to the career, do you think this is a career that chose you or you chose it? Like, did you ever have a chance to like be able to say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, and then you were able to reroute, or were you already kind of like locked in or solidified where you're like, you know what, like did you end up loving it, or was it more the fact that you kind of fell into it, so you're kind of like, okay, might as well.
It's funny. I was talking to somebody yesterday, asking them what their life is, like what they want to do with their life, and like career wise and whatever. And as I was talking to that person, I remembered advice that I had given younger me a few years back, or a very long time ago. And it was what career do I want? Yeah. Part of that question was answered again through myself when I told myself, okay, you have your dream job when you would do that job even if you weren't getting paid for it. If I would do graphic design and photography and videography without getting paid, then I really like doing it. And that's how I became okay with that, and that's how it eventually became my dream job. Was I do it. I've done more free jobs than I have done jobs that I get paid for, not counting my actual job, like 9-to-5 job. But when it comes to like a friend of mine says, hey, I have a business idea, and I jump into it, and I'm like, yeah, I got you. I never send out an invoice. I never send out prices. I just do it because I believe in that person. And it's if you're doing something because you love it, and you love it so much that you didn't have to get paid for it, then that's how you know that's what you want to do.
Yeah, bro.
If someone loves painting, and if I were to go to that person and say, hey, I'll buy all the gear, all the equipment, all the paint, I just need you to paint my wall on the side of my house, and they would be willing to do it for free, it's because they love the craft. Yeah. As soon as you start seeing it as a burden, then that's not really passion. That's when you lose the passion.
I guess that's true though, because I remember at one point when I was trying to find my career, because I'm 30 right now, but before that, I know that I was getting close to hitting 30 years of age. I was like in my 28, 29s, and I was like, all right, man, I need to get to a point in my life where I'm solidified in what I want to do, and to be able to provide for my wife, and eventually future kids. So I'm like, man, I got to see what I'm good at. And I ended up coming to a conclusion that I'm good at two things. I'm good at either labor work, obviously, because I do have a pressure cleaning business on the side, so I can do that. I don't mind doing labor work. I'm also really well with customer service, so I know how to deal with people. Even the most complicated, frustrating people, I know how to do so. And then second of all, I feel like I know how to teach pretty well. So I wasn't in the decision in regards to maybe some type of supervisor management role or straight up just becoming a teacher. Um, and then it ended up that I ended up falling into the car insurance world, and I'm doing exactly that. I'm learning how to manage because the job that I have is my job is considered a managing role, just because I have to manage my own work, what I know how to do, and my tasks and everything else. So, um, yeah, and I would say that it was something that it was new to me. So it wasn't so much of a craft. It wasn't so much of a talent that I had or something that I discovered, but it was more of the fact that it was something new and something that I found, I guess, interesting. And it's because of that interest that it helps me do my job even better. Where to the point where I'm enjoying watching videos of what I do on the weekend or on the side, or just kind of to get fill myself up with more knowledge. And it also helps because since I work in the car insurance industry, everyone and their mama calls me regarding car insurance, and I got into an accident. What's the first thing that I need to do? What's how do how does this work and stuff like that. So um yeah, I think what you're saying is right, because if I were to be honest, I think I would do what I do now without getting paid, because
Mm-hmm.
I find it that interesting where I have a good time when I write, like when I'm writing estimates or stuff like that. So I think that's something that is very true. Now, if it's not, it's nice to get paid for what I'm doing.
Yeah, but at the same time, because this isn't like to discourage anyone who doesn't have a job they're passionate about. Like,
Hmm.
I, I honestly doubt that most trash men are like passionate about trash, and they're like,
Yeah,
I
true.
can't. I wake up thinking about
About
trash. I
trash.
can't wait to go take other people's trash out. Like, that's not realistic. But with that being said, I don't think there's any problem in working a job that you're not passionate about because that job is funding your passion. You
True,
get me?
true,
So it's
true, true,
like
true.
I worked at Burger King and then I worked at Old Navy, and I hated both of those jobs. The only reason I was working those was so that I could afford a camera and afford the editing programs and save up for a new lens or a new laptop, because those crappy jobs were funding
Funding
my
your
passion,
passion.
which later on became my career.
Yeah.
And with if I mean, I'm sure that either way I would have found a way to be able to get the gear, but like if I would have never taken those jobs,
Hmm.
I would have had enough money uh to provide my passion with the gear it's needed, which in a way would have stopped me from chasing that continuously.
Very
Because I didn't
true.
have the gear, I wouldn't have chased it more. But because I said, you know what, I'm going to take this job so that it could fund my passion, I was able to purchase the equipment necessary in order for me to keep that excitement for my passion alive.
No, yeah, and you're absolutely right, because I'm in the same boat. Don't get me wrong. Even though I find what I do interesting, it's not. I wouldn't say it's my biggest passion, but it does fund other projects or other businesses that I like to do. Like my purchase cleaning business, I'm only able to keep it afloat and do what I do, and buy equipment and all these things out of what I make in my in
Mm-hmm.
my 9 to 5 job. Same thing with the podcast. All the equipment that I had to go through and buying and everything, it's all because of that. So, um, regardless if it's a passion or not, or it's even if it's just an interest that I enjoy doing, I'm thankful for it because it really, obviously I worked at Burger King. I've had like about like 10 jobs. If you were to see my resume, it's the
This
longest thing
guy's
ever.
resume is crazy.
My resume is crazy. I worked at McDonald's, Burger King, Firehouse Subs, never retail to be honest, but mostly like fast food and stuff like that. And some of them were two at a time, so I've always had 2 jobs. The last time that I stopped having 2 jobs is in 2019. As soon as I'm sorry, 2020. 2020 is the last time that I ended up having 2 jobs because I eventually had one job that paid me more than two combined. Because after that, I was working 25 hours a week. For both jobs, 50 hours a week. Every 2 weeks, about 100 hours a week. I was kind of putting in the work. You get me? Just grinding. But yeah, I think that's cool. So for those who guys, if you're in a job that you don't really enjoy, um, and there's something that you want to do, use this opportunity to look at the current job as a blessing to fund what you're really passionate about, because as you can see, it works. You know,
For sure.
we are where we are because of it right now at the moment, and I think it's humble beginnings. I'm really thankful, like because of the fact that I do what I do now. I do look back at my Burger King days, McDonald's days, and I'm like, man, dude, I'm in the same. I'm the same in the work in regarding my work ethics. I'm the same as I was back then. The way I work now is how I worked even when I was at McDonald's. So I worked like if I owned McDonald's. I worked if I owned Burger King because I knew that if I were to keep that consistent attitude, it would help me out in the long run. Where now when I'm having doing a big boy job or working in a big boy career, making big boy money, then I'm able to maintain that same work ethic. You get me? So,
Yeah, and
and I learned it at McDonald's too.
I think it's about also being thankful for it because you're now thankful for the position you're in.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, you can't know treasure if you've never seen trash. Type of
Trash.
thing. You get me?
Exactly.
So, because I worked at very crappy places, I am now thankful for where I
For
work.
what
You
you
know what I
do.
mean?
And you're your own boss, bro. So no one really like tells you what to do. So you went from working for people to now working for yourself, which is
Yep.
which is a true which
On
is a
on
huge
my
blessing.
on my personal business side, yes, I do still work at
Oh yeah, on your personal business side.
at like a 9 to 5, like church, which is also a blessing in and of itself because every day I get to do what my business is. You get me? So it's
Facts,
like
very true.
practice makes
Practice
perfect. They
makes
say that
perfect. Exactly.
you're not a professional unless you've done it for 10,000 plus hours.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm past that for
He's a professional,
real.
guys. Now and it's crazy because practice does make perfect because repetition is really key. Like I have this idea that I don't think any job in the world is hard, from a neurosurgeon to working in any type of law enforcement or being an attorney. I don't think none of it's hard. I just think it's difficult when you lack the knowledge. But I feel like once you know what you're doing, the job can now be it becomes easier and eventually it becomes enjoyable.
Yeah.
It becomes something you like to do. Um, and yeah, I have a 9 to 5. He has a 9 to 5. Plus, we have our I guess you could say our companies, our side gigs that we do, just cause yeah, at least I would say that you and me are similar in that sense that we just we like to work. We like what we do, like
Workaholics.
workaholic. You get me? So and obviously my wife, she likes the fact that I have a nice salary. I make more, so she's like, yay, we make more money. I'm like, yeah, we make more money. But I just do all the work. Oh, by the way, my wife got you this.
Damn.
She got you nerds. Now, if it's a little warm, it's because of me.
Okay.
But
I'll take it.
she said, for you.
I'll take it. Guys, you guys have to try the frozen version of these.
Oh, they're good.
The freeze dried
Oh,
ones
we tried the freeze dried ones at the fair.
Guys,
True.
crazy.
Those are stupid.
For
so
real
I know
crazy.
that you
Tell
would
her I
like
said
that.
thank you.
Yeah. She was like, "Oh, get this to Amaury. Tell her that it's hot because of you." I was like, "All right."
Yeah, it's all one big nerd.
It's all one big nerd right now. I don't know if you saw that when we came into the car.
Nah,
No. Okay. All right. Now going into that, it's your belief, bro. So, and a lot of people, we live in a day and age where there's different multiple people believing, and even people that are Christian have their perspective in how they believe in God and how they read the Bible and what they believe in, what they don't believe in. So what's your belief system? What is it that you fall back on? What is it that you
I mean, I grew up in a church somewhat, but I made the decision myself to follow Christ in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And from that day on, it's been the same thing. My belief system is Christ. My belief system is, if you had to put a label on it, I guess Christianity. But again, it's more of a relationship than the religion.
Yeah.
So it's that. It's about falling back on Jesus Christ and knowing that, hey, you're gonna fall back.
Yeah.
You get me? Like, you're gonna fall, you're gonna mess up, but when you fall and or when you mess up, you always just go back to the beginning with God. You don't say, okay, I fell off, so now I need to walk alone. It's like, no, you go back home. It's kind of like it's like a video game. When you die, you go back to the checkpoint. You go back to that checkpoint every time. And I think it's that. I mean, a lot of people have like a false reality with, I messed up, so now I'm not good enough. A lot of people don't even go to church because they're like, I've messed up so much. There's no way that that's still acceptable for me.
Yeah.
I've had countless conversations with people that are like, I'm too messed up. I've invited people to church and they're like, I'm surprised I didn't blow up into flames when I walked in here, because they just have the wrong conception of what it is to just follow Christ.
Yeah.
And they also don't realize that even after you accept Christ into your heart and you decide, I'm going to walk with him, you're still going to mess up. No one said that just because you might mess up even more.
Yeah.
No one ever said that because you accepted Christ into into your life, then now you're gonna be an angel and never mess up. Like, no, you're still human at the end of the day. So messing up is inevitable.
Yep.
And I think what matters more is what you do when you mess up. Are you gonna continue messing up and just, hey, I did it once, I'm just gonna do it for the rest of my life? Or are you gonna say, hey, you know what, I messed up, and you're gonna go and you're gonna repent and you're gonna ask God for forgiveness, and it's that. And that's what I base my belief on is you're gonna mess up, you're gonna have hard days, really, really hard days, you're gonna have really, really good days. But you have to also keep in mind that throughout the hard days and throughout the good days, God never changed. He was there the entire time the same way. So
Yeah.
that's what my belief system is 100% is um, follow Christ, try to do right by the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
and know that when you don't do right by the Lord, you could still do right by the Lord by going back to Him.
Yeah. It's funny because I always tell people this. I'm like, listen, bro, if you're gonna live a life of sin, at least live it in Christ. Because if you're gonna sin outside of Christ, there's no repentance, there's no forgiveness,
Mm-hmm.
there's no grace, there's no mercy. You're just, you're gonna continue sinning, continue living that path of death. But even if you're in Christ and you're sinning, even purposely, accidentally, intentionally, at least you know that Christ is a redeemer, and you'll be able to find
Mm-hmm.
forgiveness, you'll be able to find mercy, you'll be able to find grace. So I think that regardless of the life that we live, staying in Christ is probably the best way to go. Especially that you started really young, you grew up in church, um, and I think that's just a promise that's fulfilled. The Bible does even say it. When they start young, they'll never part their ways as they get older.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, just paraphrasing, but and I think that's true to this day because I also grew up in the church as well. Now, do you think it matters that we don't have a past life outside of Christian, like growing up in the church? Because you know how some people are like, oh, you wouldn't understand what I've been through or what I go through because of the fact that you've been a Christian all your life. You grew up as a Christian. Both of your parents serve the Lord. Like
Yeah, I think one of
quote
them,
unquote
you're at
perfect or
least
something.
you're at least relatable, right? And I was a savage before coming to church, so because I was a savage, I could relate to other savages,
Yeah.
but only because, let's say I wasn't a savage when I was younger and I still came to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that I can't help people. It doesn't mean that I
Exactly.
can't, because I didn't kill anybody. It doesn't mean that I can't sit there and tell someone, hey, like, don't kill people. Like, like it's kind of a common sense thing. So I had that mentality when I first went to church too. It was, man, I'm too young. I haven't done anything.
You haven't lived your
I
life,
haven't
right?
messed up yet.
Yeah.
I
Like,
was
oh,
like,
what's
man, I let me get a car first and let me like do some crazy stuff and drift and like let me just do stupid things first and then I'll come to God. But then you realize, um, for what? There's absolutely no reason in doing
yeah,
that.
dude.
There's no reason in saying, man, I gotta explore first and then I'll do it. A lot of people do that with marriages. They go, man, I can't get married yet, bro. I haven't been around. It's like,
That's so dumb. Like, dude, that's probably one of the biggest stigmas that I think it's the craziest because people like, in regards to marriage. Obviously, I'm married, working on my 7 years, 7 year this year. But people's like, oh man, that's it. Once I'm married, that's the only cheeks I'm clapping for the rest of my life. And I'm like, bro, like, you really think it's okay? And it's a flex to say that you have more than one body count on you, bro? Like, I don't know, man. I at least growing up, I've always, at least for me, I was never. I knew from a very young age that marriage was for me.
mm-hmm.
Going about my days and hooking up with other girls and stuff like that. First of all, I couldn't do it. I was too scared. Couldn't talk to girls. I was like, you know what? I don't know what these girls are on. And then second of all, I just I didn't see myself doing that because I get really attached. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm a real simp for my wife, like hardcore. So like I get attached and I'm like, I don't wanna be attaching, because then eventually I'm numb and then I'm like, oh, I don't wanna, like, I've done
Yeah.
this so many times. So it's like it's crazy how, like, bro, guys, I didn't even have like a real bachelor party before I got married because I was like, I don't really need it.
Mm-hmm.
It's dumb. I'm waiting to get married. I'm waiting to have my wife and live my life. You got me? I think there's nothing better than that. But that's crazy though. That people they really like, oh, let me get as much booty as I can before I get married, so that the only booty I'm tapping is That's it. Like I got it out my system. I'm like,
I
why
think
was it in your
that's
system?
stupid too, because first of all, you want to honor your wife by saying, hey, you know what, I waited and it was for you,
Yeah.
right? But I think also, speaking more practically, I could be 100% wrong about this, but like the more I feel like the more bodies that you have when you do get married, you're gonna be living in a constant state of comparison.
Oh, comparison is such a killer, bro. Cause like even if you don't do it like on purpose, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like I was married. I got married as a virgin. Thank by the grace of God, I got married at the age of before I was 25. So by 24, turning 25, I was already married, and I was able to make it to marriage as a virgin. Excuse me, and my wife as well. So the only comparison that we have is me and the wife. I could be having sex the wrong way, but because there's no other comparison and it's just me and her, there's no I mean there's no way for us to be able to like, oh, they did it better, this was better. It kind of brings back memories, but I kind of have that blessing where I'm like, you know what, even if we're doing it wrong, baby, it feels good because it's just you and me. Like
Yeah,
we have
like
nothing to
you
compare
have
it to.
nothing to compare it to. So I think people have that bad conception, and then going back to the honoring and getting out of the disgusting conversation of you and your wife. I feel like also you want to honor your wife and you want to be able to tell her, I didn't know it was gonna be you, but I know that I was gonna get married, and I know that I wanted to be able to look my wife in the face and say, hey, you know what, I've been serious about this since day one,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna lock in, and I'm not gonna switch up, and you have peace knowing I'm not comparing you to anyone else because I
Yeah.
don't know anyone else, and things like that. And that's not to say that if you have messed up in the past that's you're cooked, like that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah, no.
I think it also has to do with a change in mentality and saying, okay, well, you messed up when you were younger or before you came to church or whatever,
Yeah.
because you just didn't know better. Now you know better,
Now
and
you
now
know
your
better.
mentality is not the same.
Yep.
um in the world, I think, as far as I can only speak on a guy's part, obviously, but um, for guys, like the more girls you sleep with, the cooler it is, or whatever. But
Yeah.
like when you come into church and you start seeing things with like a more mature mentality, you say, it actually isn't that cool. And when you come to church and you say, wow, I've been around, it makes you feel kind of like, damn, it was so pointless though.
Right.
Like, I wish I would be able to look at my wife and tell her, hey, I didn't do anything because I wanted to be with you. But
Mm-hmm.
all these people that come to church and are like, damn, I've done everything. So you know what I mean?
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
it would hurt. Like, imagine you have to look at your wife in the face. Like, imagine you come to church and you are a full savage and your life changes, and your wife has been in church her entire life and has never even seen a penis, bro. Like, she doesn't even know how that thing looks. And you have to look at her and say, I have done more things than you even know about. More things. You don't even know these things exist.
Oh
Like,
my
that's,
God.
it's not embarrassing, but it's
It's
sad.
it's sad. It really is
It's
sad.
sad.
It's
Obviously,
funny
there's
you mention
redemption.
it out, but it really is truly sad though because that's you shouldn't have all that experience.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? Like I think the beauty of also when you get married is and you go into marriage as virgins is a discovery of your sexual relationship. I think that's a part of marriage. I feel like people are so already know so much that it's no longer something they look forward to when you get married, which is something that it's special because first of all, when you do get married and you are sexually intimate, the Lord does bless your marriage, but at the same time, He did it so that you guys can be one and consecrated together. But all that should be a journey of discovery of what she likes, what you like, and stuff like that. But I feel like nowadays people, unfortunately, it's a sad truth, already know what they like, and it's like,
Yeah, and also when it comes to casually dating but including sex into that, it's dangerous. It's dangerous because the whole point of dating is you're supposed to be evaluating the person. You're
mm-hmm,
supposed to be getting to know them. Obviously, the Bible doesn't talk about dating, so there's not really clear instructions on what you're supposed to
supposed to
do.
do, yeah.
But right there, you're supposed to be evaluating the person, seeing how they react to certain problems, seeing how seeing what their trigger points are, seeing how they react to trigger points. Do they tell you, hey, I didn't appreciate that you said that? Or do they just lash out on you and ghost you? Like, you have to see how they react to things. That's the whole
Mm-hmm.
point of evaluating. But when you include sex into the evaluation process, it blinds you. And you start seeing them as, even if there's a bunch of red flags, because you let your physical attraction win, you ignore every single one of those red flags, and you're like, nah,
Now you're
that
stuck
person's
with a
my wife right
toxic
there.
chick or a
And it's like,
toxic
no,
guy.
that's not good for you. You
That's
should
not,
not be with that person
yeah, bro.
because it blinds your evaluation side. So by having casual sex per se,
Mm-hmm.
you're really allowing yourself to be blinded, and you're gonna end up making the wrong decision. A lot of people get married because they included sex before the whole marriage
Yeah.
chapter of their life, and now they're so blindsided by the sex. And once the hormones, dry out, and it's like, okay, like we've been married for, I don't even know how long, I don't know, but like we've been married for a while. The sexual life isn't the most exciting part about this anymore. I'm actually interested in just having a partner. And when they ignore the sexual temptations and they just look at their partner, they're like, dude, I hate you, bro. Like, I can't stand you. Like, they start feeling super miserable because they got sidetracked by the
By the
sexual
sexual thing.
attraction.
Yeah, bro.
So I
Yeah.
think it's that. I think it's, if you want to actually know if the person you're with is good for you, you have to also start there by saying, okay, well, do we believe that we're gonna wait till marriage? Like, and if I'm serious about it, and one day I'm feeling a little bit tempted, is that person gonna stop me and say, like, hey, no, we're not doing this? Or is that person gonna be like, I'm down? And it's like, okay,
Oh,
then
going
you're not
your
helping
all
me with
right.
anything. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and not to say that all the pressure's on the girl. That sometimes it's vice versa too, but I think that has a big part to play with it too. Is you want to find someone who's good for you. That starts in the evaluation process.
Yeah. Very
You
true.
need to evaluate that person's heart. If there's somebody who gets angry easily and lashes out at you and freaking verbally abuses you and crap, okay, then right there you have to take a step back and say, well, this person isn't good for me.
Isn't good for you.
If
Yeah.
it's someone who's not helping you get closer to God, or at
Mhm.
least encouraging you to,
Mhm.
it's not good for you. It's like, it's very black and white, and I think people get it confused because they let attraction get the best of it.
Yeah.
But the example that's always stuck to me is like, dude, if God forbid you marry someone and there's a tragic accident and they're like dismembered and crap, and their attraction, their physical attraction
It's
isn't there
gone.
anymore, is their personality enough to get you through?
Mm.
And if it's not, then you're not. People say, oh, I'm dating my best friend. It's like, no, you're dating your best, like, your preference. You're dating how you want someone to look.
Yeah.
But if that person had no looks, I highly doubt that personality would be enough. You get me? I've seen
Yeah.
people that are in terrible relationships and they're like, oh, that's my best friend. It's like, you hate your best friend. Like, that's not, you don't like your best friend. What are you talking about?
God.
I see how you guys fight. There's no, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I know in relationships there's fighting, but like it's also the way you fight. I've seen healthy
Yeah.
relationships where
That's a
they're like,
big
hey,
thing, bro.
I didn't appreciate this, and the person's like, oh, what didn't you appreciate about it?
Yeah.
Well,
There's a
this
healthy
reminded
way
me
of
of
fighting.
this, and it's healthy communication. Then I've seen the other relationships where it's like, hey, you haven't talked to me in like 8 hours, and it's like, oh, now you notice, and it's like, I noticed from the first hour. I was waiting for you to tell me, and it's like a terrible communication path.
Oh
And
God.
it's like, bro,
Yeah.
you guys don't even know how to talk to each other, and you guys are
Yeah.
sleeping with each other. Like,
That's crazy, right? How sometimes just that can just blind you from what who they truly are, and you just don't even see it. And I want to piggyback on what you said. I think how you fight is super important. I remember that um when when I met my wife and we were already married, our fighting was very, I would say, very toxic. It was very bad. I was like, why is it that our argument is so bad? And it wasn't until I started, finding help in regards to, like, all right, this is my first time being a husband. I need to find somebody who has experience or some years down the line, on in marriage, because apparently I feel like I know it all, but I don't know crap. Um, and now eventually I was taught and learned, like, George, there's a certain way that you have to learn how to fight with your wife, because you can't just be saying what you want to say, because once you say it, those words can't be taken back. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's super important that you learn how to fight, because there's a healthy way of doing it. And that I think it's true, man. You got to be able to really love the person, because looks are going to fade. You know what I mean? My wife, she's hot. I love her. She looks good. But I know that eventually, as we get older, we're both going to get older. I'm still gonna love my wife no matter what, because I know who she is as a person. Um, you know, inside outside, I would say that the inside is just a reflection. I'm sorry, the outside is just a reflection of how beautiful she actually really is inside. And it's just crazy, man, how some people really do get blind. And I've never really experienced it myself. Like I said, I was a virgin until I got married. But that's crazy how some people are just really to kind of settle just because a person looks good.
yeah, and
But
you have to be realistic
it
too.
only lasts for a couple of years,
Like
bro.
a lot of people, like younger people, they expect to get into a relationship where like they think a good relationship is one that has no arguments. And that's like rooted from like their parents. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
my parents fought all the time, so obviously that's not a good relationship. So what is a good relationship is someone who never fights.
Mm,
But what you really didn't like about your parents was how they fought.
yeah.
Like,
Not that
for
they
I'm
fought,
not
how they fought.
I'm one, and I say this as a 24-year-old single person, so I could be 100% wrong when I'm married. But like, I don't believe that fighting in front of your kids is smart.
No.
I think it makes the false. I think it makes them feel like they're in a broken home, even if like it's just a little bicker between you and your significant other. You're aligning. You're pretty much exposing your child to a toxic environment for no reason because you two as adults could just handle that behind closed doors.
Exactly.
And um, if you're yelling at your significant other in front of your kids, that's never going to be a sign of love.
And they're gonna think that that's okay.
They're going to think it's okay, or they're going to go opposite and they're going to think it's really bad and look for something completely opposite, but they're not going to find it because that's not realistic.
That's not realistic.
So it's more, you have to know you're going to fight. You're
Mm-hmm.
going to fight.
You're gonna get into
It's
arguments.
how are you going to handle it, and also
How you
how are you
bounce
going to
back
bounce
from
back?
it?
Yeah, how are you going to bounce back from that? How are you going to look at each other after you're done with it? Are you going to say, well, I'm going to give that person the silent treatment because I don't know how to say I'm sorry?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I going to give the person the silent treatment just because I I just don't know how to start up a conversation? I feel like I should still be mad even though I don't actually care anymore. Like, you have to know exactly how to reconcile with your significant other,
Yeah.
and you have to know um how to respect your significant other, and vice versa. Your significant other has to be able to respect you as well.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to arguing, like, you gotta just you gotta literally talk it out, not yell it out, not scream it out, like, not throw things.
Yeah.
You gotta just talk, man. That's it. Simply talk. Treat that person with kindness. Realize that the same way that that person has a heart, the same way that you have a heart, that person has a heart too. You have to take care of that. Like, you have to be nice because no one forced you to make that decision to marry that person.
Exactly.
That was your decision. You loved that person enough. Only because time passed doesn't mean that love went anywhere. That's still the same person.
Same person. Yeah.
You got to find it. You got to keep it alive.
You gotta keep it on. Yeah, guys. Like, and guys, take for those who are married, don't forget to continue dating your wife.
This is coming from a married simp and a single simp.
Married sim, guys.
Single simp.
Yeah. So don't forget to date your wife. You get me? Like, okay. So obviously you know, but for those who don't know, I have type 2 diabetes, meaning that my eating habits before was disgusting. Okay, just to give you the day in the life of George back then and his eating habits, bro. It was a whole tray of croquetas, crumble cookies, 2 pounds of pasta. Um, Vegetables didn't exist. Fruits non-existent. Eating at any ridiculous amount of time. Taco Bell, Burger King, Pizza Hut. Like, guys, I would finish like 2 boxes of Little Caesars by myself. It was horrendous. So obviously, it led me to get to have type 2 diabetes, and on top of that, my ignorance didn't allow me to go and get yearly checkups because I'm pretty sure I had diabetes even before I got diagnosed with type 2, but just because of the fact that I didn't go beforehand, I didn't know because I was like, if I don't feel bad, then there's no need for me to go. All that just to say that I work out not just for my health, but I also work out to look good for my wife. I work out so that my wife doesn't have a fat or obese husband. And to this day, I'm still struggling. I'm still working to make sure that I continue to lose weight and not gain anything. Maybe put more muscle on my body. Continue to eat a healthy diet. Continue to work out regularly. Um, I think this is like I would say not the first time in my life, but the first time in a very long time where I've been consistent with the gym for like about more than a year, where I've been going consistently for about 3 to 4 times a week. And that's with me wanting to go, not wanting to go, waking up at 4 a.m., going to the gym at 12 midnight, getting out at 2 to just wake up at 6, and just kind of putting in the work because I realized that it's, first of all, it creates discipline. Second of all, you feel great. And then third of all, I'm taking care of my health, and it'll be a reflection of that. What I do will be reflected on what my wife does, and eventually ultimately what my kids will see. I want my kids to be like, oh, I don't want my dad that he's so fat that he can't tie his shoes, so I have to tie his shoe for him. I want my dad to be like, oh, me and my dad just went to the gym and we just killed a crazy workout. So all that to look good for your wife. Continue to date. You get me? Continue to go for the hunt. Continue to compliment your wife. Check her out. You get me? Like, continue to keep that fire alive, bro.
I think it's important. I mean, I think this is an unpopular opinion, but like, you have to keep what your wife signed up for, and like
Yes.
my rule is if your wife found you at 250 pounds, and like she said I do at 250 pounds, you should only go less than that.
Never
If you're
more.
going more than that, that's not what she signed up for. And that
Exactly.
we're just speaking very vain about like
Yeah.
weight in this example,
And
but
that's
that's
not
in
fair.
everything.
Yeah, that's in everything, and that's not fair though.
And
Like
vice versa. A lot of girls say, "Oh, but I gained weight or
happy
whatever,"
weight.
and it's like, no, but
Come on,
I'm
guys.
sorry, I didn't sign up for that. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I
Like,
didn't sign up to have a
let's.
fat wife.
And it's not a matter of like go to the gym by yourself. Like, no, make it a date thing. Make
Like,
it like a let's both do it. Whatever.
let's take her pre, baby. Let's get to work. I got a post
But
workout meeting
I
afterwards.
I think it's you have to try to look good for your significant other and for yourself. Like, no one. I really don't think that there's anyone out there that you could say, hey, if I snap my fingers right now, I'll give you the dream body you want. Do you want that? And I go, no, I enjoy being fat and like at a health risk. Like, no, everyone's gonna be like, I'll do it.
I'll
I'll
do
take
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
like
go ahead. Yeah.
because people like looking good, and also, bro, why wouldn't you want to look good for your significant other?
Right.
100%. Like, there's a way of working out for health. There's a way of working out for looks.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in the gym are there for the looks. Let's
Yeah.
just be honest.
Yeah.
I'm there for the looks. I don't like.
No,
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm
not
there for health, bro.
Nah, I mean, yeah, because 560. But
5'6". That was
no, I'm there for. I'm there to just look good. You get me? Feel good, look good. Like, be happy when you look in the mirror and say
Yeah.
like, okay, look, like I'm making improvements. I'm stronger now. Like whatever.
Yeah.
And obviously, like if I was in a position where I needed to go for health, like I already have that regiment done.
Yeah.
You get me? But it's that it's a lot of people say like, I mean, one of the things I hate is like when you look at someone who's been married for years and then you look at like when they first met and it's like you look nothing like this. Like you look nothing
Where's
like
this
this at
person?
all. Like I've seen pictures of like where the wife looks exactly the same and he's like super happy, but you see like the smile from the first time they met to like that new picture diminish in her
Oh
face
my
like crazy
God.
because she didn't sign up for that. Like
Yeah,
you're no longer the person she fell in love with. Your
Mhm.
personality might be the same, awesome, but also looks play a big part in
Looks
it.
play a big part too.
You're not there anymore, so make the effort. Now, if she's one of those people that's like, I don't care if you're fat. Okay,
Oh,
cool, whatever.
order the
Awesome.
pizza real quick, babe. Run that back.
Awesome, but at the same time, there's a level of health that needs to be balanced there. And if you
Exactly.
really love your wife, you want to spend as much time as you can with your wife. And if you want to spend as much time as you can with your wife, you want to be on this earth as much as you can. So you take care of yourself. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
bro.
Like, it's a lot, but
Dude,
it's not hard.
I don't think so either. Dude, it got to the point that I was okay, guys. The reason why we keep dropping 560 is just to kind of give you a little bit of background. What ended up happening was that when I got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, I ended up going to the hospital. They have a meter that they check is just to check your glucose levels, and my glucose level was at 560. To go into a diabetic coma, you needed to be at 600. I was only a Coke away from going into a diabetic coma. It got to the point that the hospital didn't even let me go. They told me that we had to admit you and kept me there for like about 5 to 6 hours. Gave me like 4 bags of saline to bring it down from 560 to 365 because of how bad it was. And I was so big that I couldn't even tie my shoe. Like I wouldn't be able to go down to tie my shoe because my stomach was all up in the way. I would have neck pains because I couldn't sleep properly. I couldn't go up a flight of stairs without heavy breathing. I couldn't even, bro. I had horrible lower back problems. I had lower back issues where I wasn't able to stand for a long time. It was bad, guys. Take into consideration, I'm only 5'5", 5'4" on a bad day, 5'6" on a good day with the right shoes, and I'm short. I'm not meant to have to be weighing so much. So now I went from 224 to 204, and then my goal is to try to get to like maybe 180 or to just at least stay. Even if I stay at the same weight, just reduce the body fat on me. Not so much weight because I don't like feeling light, but I would like to reduce the more body fat on me. And all that to say that my wife didn't sign up to have a type 2 fat obese husband who can't even tie his shoe or won't be able to play with his kids when we have kids. So it's like it's important that you keep up to par. So this is why I made a drastic change, and my diet is crazy. It's different now. Like even when we go out to eat and hang out outside of the pod, hey, where are we gonna go eat? I'm like, anywhere we can go anywhere as long as they have salad. Because I'll get salad, I'll double the protein. I'll just get more veggies, and then obviously sometimes I don't want to eat a salad, so I don't. But for the most part, I tend to stay pretty consistent with my diet. What's your diet looking like right now?
My diet is just meal prepping. So my thing is just high protein, low calorie.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Me
pretty
too.
much it. So for a while, when I first made like the change in my health life, it was I cut out soda. I have not drank soda in over a year, and I had a huge addiction to Dr Pepper.
Dr
If
Pepper
anyone
is
knows me,
fire though.
bro, Dr Pepper was my kryptonite, man. I do not care.
That thing is
But
so good.
as soon as I cut that off, I started seeing some extreme differences, and like I wasn't bloated anymore. I felt
Mm.
better, like, um, and then from there I went into okay, I'm gonna do a calorie count, and I had a goal of weight that I wanted to lose, and I went onto Google and I looked up calorie calculator and
Mm.
I put in my weight and I put on how much I go to the gym and how old I am and this that the other, and it told me to lose this much weight you have to be at this amount of calories.
Calorie deficit.
So I started looking up low calorie fast food items because in reality I didn't have enough time to cook. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to eat out. So
Yeah.
let me just
At
find
least
what
make healthier
options I have that
choices,
are
right?
low calorie. Um, After doing that for like 2 weeks, I kind of got in the rhythm of like I know how many calories this is. That is, I didn't have to write it down. I have to look it up. I just knew.
You just know.
Um, and then now I'm at a meal prep, which is super easy. It's just you go on TikTok, man, and you just look up low calorie, high protein meal preps, and you just copy that recipe, and you eat that. You save money, and you. I mean, I suck at choosing where to eat, so
No,
I don't
I
have to
feel
deal with
you.
that either.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
lot more peaceful. Um,
It would be a
and
struggle to find
that's
out,
all
right?
I do. Yeah,
So
100%.
hungry, you're like, dude, I don't know what I want to
It was
eat.
bad, man. It was bad. I would be like in the parking lot of like a random Publix for like 30 minutes, just like refreshing maps, like as if a new restaurant opened or something. It was so annoying.
Now,
But
guys, for
this
me,
takes it out. Like now, my diet plan is
it's good to know what you're gonna have, what your next meal is gonna be. Like, oh, I don't have to think about it. I already have it.
yeah. Like the other day, I did not want to do Friday, bro. It was payday, man. I was like, bro, I'll go to Park. I'll go do something else, and but I was like, nah, man. I gotta stick to it. I mean, you have to be disciplined
Yeah,
to say
that Park Sushi Buffet will go crazy. Dude. I
it
love
would
that place.
100% go crazy for a bulk. That's a good place.
That's a really good place, bro.
But I mean, once you hit a calorie deficit and you start like looking for calories everywhere, you start to hate any restaurant that has no nutritional like chart. You hate that. You hate that. Like
Or the ones that are
I'm gonna call
absurd.
I'll call them out, man. Carrot Express, bro. Carrot Express is labeled as a healthy restaurant, but doesn't tell you how many calories or protein anything has. So I never feel comfortable eating it.
Yeah.
Um,
Cheesecake Factory's.
the worst.
They have a nutritional label, but guys, nothing there is less than 2,000 calories.
Yeah, they should hide it.
They should. They,
hide
they
it. It's
should
so
hide
much.
it
It's embarrassing.
because
Like,
they're
I got
aiding in the diabetes
I got
epidemic.
salmon, herb crusted salmon,
Sounds
with
good.
mashed potatoes. That's it. And that meal is 2,200 calories. That
Wow.
just to put into perspective, my calorie count for one day should be under 2,000. So I can't even eat that.
Jesus, what do they put
So
in
if I
that
eat
salmon?
that at 1 p.m.,
It's,
I can't eat for the rest of the day.
oh my god, dude.
So it's intense.
It is intense.
Shout out Chick-fil-A, having very transparent nutritional charts.
And I'm not gonna lie.
Chipotle too.
Yeah, Chipotle too. And I'm not gonna lie, with Chipotle and Chick-fil-A that you mentioned, you could make really good healthy options in those both of those places to meet your goals and still be full. Because my thing is, it's not so much of the food that I eat. It's just I like to feel full at the end of my meal. So this is why I also like to focus on on volume. Like I'll get a lot of low calorie foods, but I just want, like I said, a lot of it. So right now, my thing is I've been eating bell peppers for like the last year
Like
and
a
a
whole
half.
bell pepper.
Bro, I eat them like apples now. Like,
That's crazy.
I love bell peppers. I'm literally gonna have some today. Like I love bell peppers. They're just my favorite vegetable. I eat like 2 or 3 of them in one sitting, type of thing, because I don't know, they just taste so good to me. That's what I would say. That's probably right now my favorite vegetable.
I've never even thought about eating that like an apple.
Bro, you know how much vitamin C is in a bell pepper? Way more than an orange juice. I mean, than an orange. And it takes away all the sugar. Very low
I'm not trying.
glycemic.
Don't try to convince me. I'm not eating a
You're
bell
not,
pepper like an
bro,
apple.
but
I'm not
it's
doing
good
that.
for you, bro.
I'm good, man.
You could stuff it with
I'll
like
eat an
ground
apple.
beef.
I'll eat an apple.
You don't need an
That's
apple.
fine. But yeah. So that's like my meal prep right now. La Granja sucks with their calorie count. They don't
Really?
have a calorie count, and it's like gains, and it's like hella chicken, but you don't even know how much. You don't even know how. That sucks. There's a bunch of other places that just don't say it. Like the place I went to eat today, Naked Farmer. No clue.
No clue.
No clue how many calories that has.
Oh God. And that just
But it's
makes you
healthy.
wonder.
It's healthy food though.
Okay, okay,
It's
okay,
healthy.
okay.
It's like labeled as healthy food.
Le-
But when you look at it, like it's like brown rice with sweet potato. You know what I mean? Like,
okay, 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 okay.
it's
okay.
healthy food.
Yeah.
But I'm just eating that thing like praying for the best, man. I hope this is enough.
Enough.
And I hope I don't get hungrier later. So my meal prep right now is in the morning I'll have a coffee, about 70 calories.
Okay. But why do you drink your coffee? Black? No, right?
With sugar and milk. It's a smaller cup. I'll have that. And if I could hold off not having it, then I won't have any. That way I'm doing like a forced intermittent fast.
Oh, intermittent fasting is great, bro.
Yeah.
I love, at least for me, I don't know about you, but when I do go to the gym, I do like going at a fasted state. The only thing about it is that when I fast for too long, I do feel weak.
Nah, I cannot. I can't do it on a fasted state. In fact, I can't do it on a fasted state so much that I eat like 30 minutes before the gym.
Okay.
I try
And you
to.
don't feel full or anything? Like, do you eat something small? Is it like
Well, that's the high protein, low calorie thing is enough to not make me feel bloated or full. I'm not using anything that is gonna make me like swell up. Also, I'm just drinking water. You know what I mean?
Yeah, get you.
So I don't feel like my pre workout also wrecks me anyways. But I realized I obviously have a lot more energy in the gym when I eat right before the gym.
Yeah.
If I go with no food in my system, I used to do this thing where I would eat lunch at 1 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it was, granja or whatever, and then I'd go to the gym at 5 or 5:30 realistically, and I'd work out for like 40 minutes, and I'm exhausted already.
Wow.
But now I eat right at 5, and then I go to the gym. I get to the gym around like 5:45 or 5:50 now.
Enough time to like digest the food.
Enough time to digest it and everything. And by the time I hit my workout, I'm working out for like 2 hours.
And you're feeling great.
And I'm solid.
Going crazy.
I mean, at the end of the 2 hours, I'm like already kind of weak, but I leave there like, wow, that was a great workout. And then after, I just drink a protein shake, Fairlife protein shake.
Those are amazing.
And if I'm still hungry, I have like a very low calorie meal prep that's like there just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
So I do coffee in the morning, then I'll have my meal prep, which is no more. I've never made a meal prep that's more than 500 calories.
Oh, so all your meals are less than 500?
Yeah.
Or at least
or less.
Okay.
And then also only more than 30 grams of protein
per meal.
Per meal.
Oh, that's what's up.
So I'm getting my protein intake. So I'll have that with the protein shake, a 42-gram protein shake that's only 230 calories.
Wow.
Fairlife.
That's good.
Then I have like a huge sweet tooth. I need something sweet after. So
Yeah,
I have some things. I have a pineapple juice that's like really refreshing when I get tired of water.
The 100-calorie ones?
100 calories.
Yeah, those are good.
100 calories,
That's
no
why,
added sugars.
That's why I can't drink that.
Yeah, no added sugars, but it's very small, but it's refreshing and sweet enough to like satisfy that sweet tooth. Or I'll just get 2 tablespoons of whipped cream.
Okay.
15 calories.
Okay.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
Or
that does hit the spot though. I used to eat whipped cream like that too. That's
the Fiber One brownies.
Oh, those are the 70-calorie ones. Those are fire.
Those are so slept on. And
Bro.
I just found one that's like a cinnamon coffee cake.
Ooh.
That one's really really good.
Bro, you should get that. Put some whipped cream on it.
It's crazy.
It
So
goes crazy.
I have that just to satisfy my sweet tooth, and then I won't have anything else until it's time for the gym, and I'll eat my other low calorie meal.
Yeah.
And then I'll just do a C4 pre-workout.
Those are good. I like C4.
Very small, just down it, workout, and then after I'll have another protein shake. There I already hit my protein intake.
Yeah.
And if I'm like really really starving, I'll like allow myself like a smoothie, or I'll eat the low calorie meal again.
Gotcha.
And then if I'm snackish at night, I'm watching a movie or something. The I think it's Pop Chica, the popcorn.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
The kettle one. That's 150 calories per bag.
Per bag. Oh, so you can kill the whole.
So I get the single, the small bags, not the big ones.
Okay.
But I make them in the small. I get them in the small bag so I can just eat that bag and know. Because if you get a big bag, you're gonna eat.
Yeah, you're just gonna go crazy.
So I do that, and then I'm there. I'm done.
Dude, would you say that it's hard for you to keep to keep count of your calories, or because you eat the same meals every day, you already know how many calories you're getting every day?
I'm not eating the same meals every day because I get tired of what I'm eating.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, it was hard too because you're like, dang, I really want McDonald's fries, and then you look up the small fries is 400 calories, and you say, I'm good.
Cool.
Or like, I really want Chick-fil-A fries and sauce, and then you see that the sauce almost has the same calories as the fries.
The fries, it's like, oh
and
my
like,
god, dude.
But then you find alternatives, and you say, okay, well, the buffalo sauce is only like 50
and it's
calories.
fire, and it's
you know what I mean?
really
Like,
good.
and you work those things into your thing, and then you start realizing life's not that bad. And you're like, I could do this, and you start seeing a change in yourself.
Yeah.
and you're like, wow, I'm actually happy with how I look right now, and I'm not starving.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think I don't know, because right now, like at the moment when I'm working out, I like to feel strong. I like to lift heavy. So right now, like my bench is like at 275 at the moment. I was close to almost hitting 295, but because I was fasted for too long and I forgot that I had to eat, I wasn't able to clean it. Like I wasn't able
Mm-hmm.
to like rack it up properly or finish it. It was a good failure though. That means like I was close to doing it. I just couldn't. I didn't hit it. Um, but I I don't think I like, you get me, like I want to go on a cut, because if I start, I just don't want to feel weak. It's
No,
just hard for me to be able to eat less than
if
what I
you
eat
do
now and
it
then lift
if you
weights
do
the
it
same way that I do now.
diligently, like you won't feel weak whatsoever because you're still gonna hit your protein intake.
True.
And like on days where I know I have to lift heavier, I allow myself to have a little bit more carbs to help fuel the heavy lifting. So like on leg days, if I say, you know
You
what, I'm
carb
not
up
gonna do
pretty
my meal
nice.
prep, I'm just gonna get some wings from Wingstop. Like it sounds super unhealthy, but you need the amount of carbs that is in that meal in order to lift heavy
To
because
lift heavy.
you're lifting a lot of weight with your legs.
Gotcha.
So I allow things like that to get into it. But bro, if you were to start like, I mean, I know you cook and everything, so like if you were to cook and just separate your meals and measure out your meals, you have nothing to worry about for the next week. You do it
Yeah.
every week. I'm gonna do it today.
Oh, you're gonna meal prep today?
Yeah, right after this podcast, I'm gonna go grocery shopping. I'm gonna buy all the things I need to buy.
And you're gonna start meal prep.
Meal prep, I'm set for the week. Actually, I don't do it for the week just because chicken after 4 days, I feel kind of like I don't want to eat it. So I do it until Wednesday.
And
Then
then you
Wednesday night I cook again until
until
Friday.
Friday.
And
Oh,
then my
okay.
weekends I don't have a meal prep, but that doesn't mean I go crazy either. I
Yeah, you're
still
just.
do a calorie count. I just buy it now. You get me?
I get you.
So like yesterday I had some food from like a baby's birthday party that I was at.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea how many calories it was because you were serving yourself, but I just got more protein than I
And
did with
anything else?
rice.
Yeah.
Then I didn't finish the burrito we got at Agave
Out of
last
Gaza, yeah,
night,
yeah.
and that's it.
I mean,
Those
there's
are my
always
two
no.
meals,
Those are
and
your
I
two
was
meals.
sweating the entire day doing the car thing,
The car
so
thing.
I definitely burned off a lot. You get me?
Yeah.
So when I go to sleep, I'm like, oh, I'm good.
You good?
I didn't
Do you keep track of your
overdo it.
weight, of how much you weigh when you start? Like when you started
I
your
wanted
counting
to,
calorie?
but
How much do you think you weigh now?
right now I'm at 178 right now.
Oh, I want to be at your
But when I
weight.
started losing weight, I was at like when I looked at myself in the mirror and I said I need to change, I was at 211.
Damn.
I was big, bro.
You
I
a
was
big
big
boy.
boy. I have a picture of the scale, and I was like, "That's great." I took a picture of the scale because I was like, "That's the last time I'm gonna see this number."
Oh my
And
god.
it has been the last time I see that number. I never got that big again.
Yeah.
But um, I don't measure out my weight. I don't like write it down or anything because since I'm in the middle of losing weight but also putting on muscle,
Mm-hmm.
muscle weighs more than fat.
Yeah.
So I could look at the scale and I'll say 178, even though I've been meal prepping for a month or 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that it's more muscle that I'm growing rather than I'm
Yeah.
losing fat.
And I think when you work out and you start lifting weights, you do see the physical changes in your body. You start to see cuts that you never had before, muscles
Yeah.
that you start growing before. You feel stronger, and you're not as weak as
Yeah,
before.
you know you're on a good path when people at the gym start recognizing you
Yeah.
and they start talking to you as regulars, and you don't have to scan your barcode
Cause
because
then
they're like, no,
yeah, cause
Joan,
then
I
like,
know
oh,
you.
you're in here as much as I am,
Mhm.
putting in this work. Yeah, man. And I think the working out is so good because it also gives you a form of discipline. If you're able to apply the discipline you put in the gym to everything you do, I don't see there's any reason why you should fail at anything that
Mhm.
you do. You get me? As long as you stay consistent, because consistency is key. You get me? Even if you don't feel like going, you still gotta. You
Cons-
complain as you get dressed to go.
Consistency is 100% key in everything.
Yeah.
Like in everything. If you could be consistent in the gym, then you could be consistent in your prayer life. If you could be
Mm-hmm.
consistent in the gym, then you could be consistent with your diet. If you could be consistent with your gym, then you could be consistent in visiting people and making calls and making sure they're okay. If you're disciplined enough to do physical labor, even though you don't want to,
Mm-hmm.
you're disciplined enough to sit down and read a book.
Yeah. Very true.
One
Very
hundred
true.
percent. There's no reason why you can't.
There's no reason why you can't.
And bro, I've tried. I mean, I've tried to like. I'm saying that lightly because it's difficult, but like it does make sense. Now, for me, it's just time's sake. It's like I get off of work at 5. I'm at the gym for an hour and a half or something. Get out around like 7. If it's a service night, go home, shower, go to service, come back home. It's already I gotta go to sleep. I gotta work tomorrow,
Yeah, you work.
so I don't really have time to sit down and read. But with the meal prep, because my food's already with me, I don't have to leave work to go buy food and come back and eat. And what I do is I clock out, I eat my food. It takes me, 15 minutes to eat my food or 10 minutes. And I'm just sitting in my car reading.
True.
So I found time for it.
You
You know what I
you
mean?
made time for it. Yeah.
Because it's
It's not
that.
that you didn't. You were just able to.
If you're finding time to make
Yeah.
it to the gym, you could find time
Time
for
to-
things. You know how to delegate your time. In that.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's important. Learning how to delegate your time.
Like
because-
you're savage, guys. We've been eating at 10 at night, and we're talking about what George did at the gym after work, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I hit chest and everything," and we're eating, and I'm like, "Oh, what are you doing after?" And he's like, "I'm probably just gonna go do cardio at the gym." If you're hitting the gym twice a day, you're insane.
You're crazy.
You're insane.
Yeah.
So that George is insane. He will hit the gym twice in one day. I don't think I have enough mental strength or just self-hatred for myself to go to the gym twice a day.
You want to tell them about the time we did legs together?
No, I don't.
Guys,
I don't.
let's just say that one time he did legs was the last time we've ever worked out together.
Yeah, actually. Actually was.
After that, we haven't gone to the gym together.
Is that
again.
George has massive legs, and he thinks that because he has massive legs, everybody in the world has massive
Bro,
legs.
but you got some big legs too, bro.
Yeah, but they're not as strong as your legs. So he had me doing an insane workout. I remember we were leg pressing and then supersetting it with lunges across the whole gym as the first workout. Like,
I'm a big fan of supersets because at least when I work out, I have the Sam Solik mentality. Work out to failure. Like, do it until you can't no more. Once you fail, do that 4 to 5 more times. So, and I think that's just the best way to do it, because the more you exhaust your muscle, the more you learn how to put it through time under tension and let it be in that tension for a certain amount of time. I feel like that's how you start to build more muscle.
in a nutshell, I just threw up and I left. I also, it was fasted. I hadn't eaten.
I don't even know who you threw up if you were.
I ran to the bathroom. I threw up. I told you I gotta pee. I went over there and I barfed everywhere. And then I looked at him and I said, "I'm gonna go home." And I went home. And at the time, I lived in a 2-story house, and I did not make it up those stairs. And I just stayed on the couch for like 4 hours. And then after, my room was upstairs, so eventually I had to go up there. And it was like Bambi walking for the first time.
God,
it
man,
was the worst experience
That
ever.
was so funny, guys.
And I have not worked out with George since.
Oh man, that's funny. No, but now he's good. I feel like now we can work out and we can really.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna let you do that. I'm not gonna let you put me through that. I'm gonna tell you no. Like, I was legit when that happened.
He was
so
like, when it happened,
I was like
guys.
16 years old, so I was like, yeah, sure. If you're telling me, I guess this is what working out is like. No, I've hit my own leg days now, and I'm like, wow, this is how I'm supposed to feel after.
Not like that.
So you don't throw up every time. Like, it was
oh man, that was such a fun time. That day was.
I still
funny,
suck at
bro.
legs though.
Yeah.
I'm sore right now. I'm sore right now.
The only thing that I can't do with legs anymore is I can't squat. I can't just do a regular barbell squat because my shoulder. When I was in wrestling, I messed up my shoulder, and when I messed up my shoulder, now it locks up. When I'm squatting, and I'm afraid that when I'm lifting heavy, it locks up. My arm would just die, and then I'm not gonna be squatting holding one arm 315 pounds on my back. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not willing to die tonight. So, bro, shout out to the hack squats. Shout out to gobble squats. Shout out to the pendulum machines. That's where it's at right now.
When I was in middle school and high school, I skated a lot. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you did.
My legs were very strong when I would skate. So I had massive legs actually, very toned and everything. I stopped skating. I still have the mass though.
Yeah.
But just replaced by fat.
Just
replaced by fat. So I look like I have like really big legs. Like, wow, he's got strong legs. No, you Charlie horse me. I'm done. I'm done for a week. Like, so I don't let my legs fool you.
Oh my god.
I still have nice calves though.
Yeah, I got nice calves too.
Only when I tippy toe. Not when I'm just walking. You
Guys,
have huge calves.
I have huge calves, but it's because I walk on my tippy toe. If you ever see me walk, it looks like I'm bouncing. I look like a refrigerator with legs, and I'm just bouncing my way through life, and my calves are just happen to be like I had veins on my calf since I was like 12. Like I don't, you know what I mean? It's just I'm always working. I'm always doing calf raises. Put it that way.
Yeah, you're insane.
Yeah, bro. So we both can agree. Working out is something that's important to us. It's something that I think even whatever stage in life we're in, we're always gonna make time for.
Yeah.
Just because, at least for me, I'm pretty sure for you too. It's just it's one of those things that we have to do anymore. It's not something like it's not an option. It's not something that we could get around to. We'll do it. It's kind of like work. Like we need it to live.
Mm-hmm.
Type of
Yeah,
thing.
and it's like you want to feel good about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to grow your self esteem. You want to
Yeah.
be able to, I don't know, take your shirt off in a public area and not feel like weird about it. You get me?
Mhm.
Like
I feel self
you
conscious.
could. I mean, I never like I wasn't ever the person to go into a pool with my shirt on
Yeah.
because I felt like that's just a dead giveaway that you're insecure.
Yeah.
It's like rather than you taking your shirt off and looking confident about your insecurity, you're telling everyone I'm doing this, but I'm so insecure. And also, there's no point because that shirt gets
And
so tight,
it looks so. It
and
looks
now it just
much
looks
worse
like
than
you're
without a shirt, bro.
you see everything, anyways. So I was never that type of person, but subconsciously I was like, wow, I look like a whale in this
No,
pool.
yeah, bro. No, I
So
feel you, dude. This is why even when I was fat, I was still confident. I was like, and I'm still kind of chubby now, but I was bigger then. And I was like, I don't give 3 or 4s, bro. I'm fat. I'm fat. Oh well, I'm gonna own it up. Let's get it. And but now I do feel
yeah, I think
different.
it's a difference too. Like if you're fat and you like if you're fat and someone goes up to you and says you're fat and you don't go to the gym, you're gonna feel bad about it. But if
Mhm.
you're fat and someone comes up to you and says you're fat, but you know that you're going to the gym, you could say, okay, "But I'm working on it."
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
working on it.
but it's not. I'm not going to
I'm
be
not.
anymore
Yeah, I'm not
because
going to
I'm
be.
making something. You only really feel bad about it if like you're like, damn, I'm not doing anything to
Bro,
fix
the
it.
worst
This
is
is
they
just
tell
how
you
I
you're
am.
fat in the middle of you eating.
Yeah, yeah. Damn, you're eating again. Sorry, I'm hungry.
I'm sorry. Let me go
Sorry, I
home.
need to eat.
Sorry, I need to live.
No, or the worst is when someone says, "Did you lose weight?" when you haven't. It's like, no, I'm actually more. That's happened to me, and I'm like, I weigh more now, and I know it looks like you lost weight, and I'm like, no, not a
No.
single bit. I think it's because I wear very very big clothes. Like
Yeah.
I don't like tight shirts. I don't
Neither
like
do
any of
I.
that.
I like my clothes loose.
But so when I do wear something that's actually my size, they're like, "Wow, you lost so much weight," and it's like, "Really? I lost weight from yesterday to today."
Today, yeah, okay.
No, I'm just wearing my size now. You get me? I'm just not wearing. Looks like I'm wearing my dad's shirt or something. Like,
Yeah.
no. So I think it's that. I think people think that I lost weight, but it's like, no, I haven't lost weight. I just this is actually how I
This is
look.
just. I'm actually wearing my size clothes
Yeah,
now. I feel you. No, yeah.
I'm dressed like a human today.
Just like you today. No, bro, it's crazy, dude. I think there was only one time in my life where I'm like, wow, how many months are you? She's like, I'm not pregnant. All right, just
Yeah,
kill me
no,
now.
that's the worst when you also
That's crazy,
can't
dude.
get that gauge on someone.
Bro, I know. It's like,
Pregnant or fat?
are they pregnant? Are they not, bro? Because the stomachs look exactly the
Hey,
same.
I just ignore it, man.
Yeah, I just go. I don't even mention it.
You tell me
You
if
tell
you
me.
are.
Cause
That's the safer bet.
yeah.
100% the safer bet.
But yeah, bro. So besides that, any projects you're working on right now that you can talk about, that you want to talk about, that you have going on, maybe on your own company, your personal, or anything like that.
Not necessarily. I think I'm really focused on work right now. Like work as in like my job, like church.
You're 9 to 5.
But I am also helping other people with their projects. Like I'm gonna be editing this one right here.
Yes, you will be.
I'm editing all the other ones. I'm also working with a podcast called Walk This Thing. Same
out to May.
concept. Shout out May. I'm editing those. I'm helping with those. I'm also helping my friend Brandon with a short film that he's working on. Gusanos should be out soon. So I'm really just helping other people right now. Nothing. I have some projects that I would like to work on, but I have some other things I need to do first before working on those projects. So, as of right now, though, I'm not working on anything personally.
Yeah.
I actually, if I could say one thing that I am working on, I'm trying to post more, bro. I suck at posting.
Oh, your social medias, Instagram.
Yeah, like we live in the social media era, and if I'm not posting anything about my job or whatever, then I'm not gonna. People aren't gonna find it, and that's so difficult.
What makes it hard for you to post? Like
Because
especially that
feel,
you're in the space.
I feel like posting, like me personally, because I could sit here, like I texted someone the other day, or this morning actually, and I was like, hey, you should have posted this as a reel because this would have gotten you more engagement because they posted on their story. I could see what needs to be posted as this to help get some leverage.
Yeah.
But when it comes to me, I feel like if I do it, I'm like, look at me. And it's like, I'm not like that. Like, you know,
Yeah, you're
I'm not
not.
like
You're
a
not.
show off
You're
per
not at
se.
all, bro. You're a very humble
I'm the
guy, man.
opposite. I don't want people knowing what I'm doing. Like
Yeah, yeah,
there's
yeah.
so many projects that I've done that people don't even know I'm the one that did that project. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm the one that helped with this, or I was on set for that, or whatever. So it's things like that. So like I don't like being like I feel like the act of putting my phone up and either talking to my phone, I'd rather die than talk to my phone, or the act of posting a picture of myself and I suck at captions too.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie.
can't.
Captions are so hard, bro.
I wrote an Instagram caption the other day. Um, I thought I was being nice. Like I was like, hey, I love
it's
working with these
clean.
people. Thank you so much for the opportunity, whatever. And I said it to someone. I said it to Billy in the office.
Shout out, Billy.
When Billy laughed at my face, I just deleted the whole post.
Oh my god, bro.
I'm done.
That's
That was the
crazy.
worst.
That
That was.
so-
I felt like
Bro,
a
captions is
geezer.
hard, bro, because it's like part of the posting process and posting on social media. It's not just the graphic because you know how to edit and make a sick graphic, but it's also the fact that you have to have like a caption that can engage the people that people want to read.
Yeah, and also like I want people to know what things I have, like talents that I have. For example, I know how to do live stream.
True.
I know how to live stream an entire event. Nobody knows that at church I was helping with live stream. Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that I was in charge of live stream for 4 years and I know how to do it. Like because I don't show that. You get me? So people see me, they're like, oh, you're the graphic designer. And it's like, wait, but I also filmed that podcast and edited that podcast. And it's like, oh, I didn't know that. You get me? Oh, you're such a great graphic designer. It's like, wait, but I made this whole graphic line for this event that you didn't know about because I don't show those things.
Yeah.
So a part of me wants to show it because it helps get business and it helps like show people I know what I'm talking about. Because people say, oh yeah, he does graphics, but it's like I do so much more.
You do so much more than that, bro.
I didn't even start off doing graphics. I started off doing photography.
You're basically also a social media manager. At one point, what was it? I know that you were also managing an artist like a Spanish or Dominican artist's social media platform.
Yeah, things like that are always so difficult just because you have to believe in yourself as well. If like there's a lot of people that have asked me to manage their things and when I try to manage it, they're like they don't want to put in the work. And it's like, okay, then you have to want it as badly as I'm trying to help you do it. Like they expect you to like since you're managing my social media, it should blow up. And it's like, no. I can help manage the blow up. You need to still make content.
You need to still make content. You never make it blow up.
Like for example, there's more engagement if I were to pull out my phone and talk to my phone and post that as a reel, there'd be a lot of engagement there rather than me posting a graphic. Even though the graphic would look cooler than that video.
Yeah.
But the algorithm picks up someone talking to the camera. But I don't look like any of the people that I'm managing their social media.
Yeah.
So I can't pull out my phone and talk to them. You need to pull out your phone, talk to the people, and post that on your social media, and I will help you engage, get more engagement.
Do it this way, do it that way.
Exactly.
Like,
But then I don't want to do that. And it's like, okay, then I can't help you.
Then I can't help you. People are just lazy, bro. They really just try to have people.
I get it though because I'm the same way, I can't post for crap. That's what we're talking about. I can't, for whatever reason, I cannot sit there and say, man, this is gonna blow up on Instagram. Like, not like just the other day I posted something on Instagram, an Easter video that I made.
Which, by the way, guys, it was sick, super sick. If anything, let's definitely put that link. I
got you.
You guys gotta watch that video.
But
phenomenal.
Even that video, bro, I did that a year ago, and I just didn't like it. Like I just felt like it wasn't good enough for my social
Really?
media. Yeah,
dude, that was such a good video, bro.
That's not. People don't even know this. Only the people that like were there with me doing the video, like people on staff, know this. But that video, that's not even how the first video was. I re-edited that entire video.
Really?
The first video had a voiceover that was in Spanish, and it had branding because it was originally made for church.
Yeah.
The coloring was different because I wasn't as good at coloring back then as I am now.
Yeah.
The song was different. It was like some random like not copyright music or like whatever. When I saw it, I was like, I hate this. But we had so much content that I was like, but this is I worked hard on this though. I should post this even if it's not the best.
Yeah.
So I went and I re-edited it. It took me like a month to re-edit it, just because like of work and other things I had going on. And then when I finally posted it, I was like, you know how heart shattering it is when I finally posted it and Instagram said it was too long, and I had to
Oh
split it
my
into two parts. Bro,
god.
I was like, that's crazy.
Do you think that now, okay, since you're more behind the scenes of everything instead of being in front of the camera, do you think you're harder on yourself in regards to your own work
Always.
than
Not even because I'm behind the scenes, just because like you just not that I know better, but like it's never gonna be good enough. And I think that it's because I know that I could do better,
mm-hmm.
just because I know more about it. So like you're gonna be harder on yourself no matter what. Like I think
You're always your worst critique, right?
if you're really passionate, like you could look at a bodybuilder and say like, "Wow, man, you're swole," but that bodybuilder would be like, "I'm not where I need to be though."
Or they have
You
like
know what I mean?
or like body dysmorphia. That are a lot of guys that do that. They're just like, oh,
Yeah,
I don't like the way
but
I
like
look
it's a
still.
matter of just like if I feel like if you're not hard on yourself, you're never gonna grow
True.
because then you're happy with where you're at.
Yeah, being complacent.
Mm-hmm.
It's not where you want to be at, because then there's no more growth. You always want to keep growing, right?
100%. 100%.
Dang, that's crazy, bro. But yeah, bro. Just so that we can go ahead and just kind of bring all this full circle, I'm gonna ask you this last question,
Okay.
and it's a, I guess I would say it's a little deep, but you let me know. Um, if this was our last conversation, what would you want me to leave with? If this was our last conversation, Amaury, after this,
It might be our last conversation. Isn't there an eclipse today?
this
Is that today?
that's
Oh,
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Ooh, Jesus coming?
Yikes.
Question
We'll
mark.
see. If it was our last conversation, what would I want?
What would
What
you
would I
want me to
want
leave?
you to leave with,
Yeah,
or them to leave with?
both of us. What would you want us to leave with? What do you want me to
Um,
leave with? What would you want people to leave with? What would they? What would you want them to remember Amaury by?
don't get fat. Just don't. You'll be better off if you're not fat. Um,
Guys, don't get fat.
nah. On a serious note, I think it's has nothing to do with what we were talking about at all through this podcast. But keep in mind that joy is your own decision, and that it's no one else's job to make you happy. Um, just because if you're relying on other people to make you happy, you're never really gonna be happy because people come and go. But if you know that happiness is your own decision, and like you could either laugh through pain or cry through pain, but you still have to go through pain.
Yeah,
You should rather just laugh through pain than sit down and cry through
I sit
pain.
down and cry.
Because when the pain leaves, because eventually it does leave.
Mm-hmm.
When the pain leaves, you'll be able to look back at your season of your life and say, you know what, I it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. And there's been a lot of seasons in my life where I'm like, bro, this sucks. I hate it here.
Mm-hmm.
And now at 24 years old, I look back at those seasons and I'm like, you know what? That wasn't the worst season of my life. I may have been a little bit dramatic. Or, you know what? That was the worst season of my life, but I'm better for it now. So I think it's keep in mind that happiness is your job,
Mm-hmm.
and also keep in mind that you're gonna have hard times. It's about how you deal with your hard times.
Yeah, bro. And I would 100% agree with that statement, bro. If that was the last thing that you would leave us with, I think it's that. First, yeah, guys, don't get fat. And second of all, that happiness is really is on you. It's, I guess, like you said, like how you were saying, it's really about perspective. Because in reality, if you're going through a hardship, are you gonna laugh through it or are you just gonna cry about it? You get me?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of choosing which route's gonna give you, I guess, the best byproduct of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think just be nice to everybody, and you'll feel a lot better about yourself. And
Tip your waiters, guys. Tip your
tip
waiters.
your waiters.
Tip your waiters. Help the elderly. You get me?
Also, like, be nice to yourself too.
Bro, I feel like a lot of people look at themselves in the mirror and don't compliment themselves on their success, what they've done, how they look, how they feel. I feel like sometimes our biggest enemy is ourselves.
Yeah, I think the world is mean enough as it is.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't like you should be the nicest. If all you have is yourself and you're being mean to yourself, right? How do you expect to live a happy life like that? You have to be nice to yourself and realize if all I have is me,
Mm-hmm.
then at least let me be nice to myself.
At least, right?
If everyone else is being terrible to me, at least let me hype myself up.
Yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean? And be your biggest fan yourself.
Exactly.
You don't need people's approval. You don't need to be cheered on by anyone. You don't need to be in a relationship with anyone. You don't need to be best friends with anyone. No, you have yourself. Fall in love with yourself
Mm-hmm.
in a non egotistical way,
Exactly.
and just let life go through what it's going through, and feel comfortable knowing, well, I'm having fun throughout it.
Yeah.
I may be in a miserable state in my life. I may hate this chapter of my life. I may
Mhm.
feel sad. I may feel depressed. It's sometimes hard to get out of bed, but I know that there's going to be one day where I'm going to love the chapter of my life. I know there's going to be one day where I can't wait to get out of bed so that I can start the day. And it's like you can't run through the season you're in. You have to walk through it.
Mhm.
Walk through it with your head up high. Don't walk through it with your head bowed and looking sad. No, walk around with a smile on your face. Be nice to people, because when you look back at it when you're older, you're going to say, I'm happy I walked through that with my head up high and with dignity, rather than walked through it with in shambles and tears in my eyes.
Yeah. Well, bro, definitely that's something I would definitely want to leave with, and something that I would definitely apply and take into consideration. And for sure, I think it's like I think you hit it right on the head, bro. It's you can't know success without failure. You can't know happiness without being sad. But there's different ways on how to be sad. There's different ways on
Yeah.
how to fail. There's a good failure. There's a good sadness that will let you appreciate the success and the happiness even more.
For
Right?
sure.
So I guess enjoy the season and enjoy the time that you're in, where you're at in life. And guys, remember, this is the On the Go podcast. Keep it moving. Keep it pushing. Um, but yeah, with that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in. Mari, thank you so much for
Of
being
course,
on
man.
here, bro. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. All the links to his social medias, to everything we mentioned, will be down below. And until next time, guys, peace.
Okay.